Alright guys, so today we're making cashew nut chicken. Basically it's a stir fry. You've got, I put mushrooms, baby corn, onions, got your diced chicken, which you can use or not. If you're vegetarian, if you don't want to use chicken, you can use tofu. I got a lot of garlic, got some chili in there, and basically going to show you how it works, the timing on everything. If it's done right, it's really a beautiful meal, and it's really easy to do, so it's kind of hard to screw up. So yeah, let's get started. Alrighty, so scene of the crime here. We've got all our ingredients spread out. Basically got our mushroom, baby corn, chopped up onion. We've got our diced chicken here. Again, you can use tofu if you don't want to use chicken. And then I've got my garlic. I've got about 4 or 5 cloves chopped up in here. And I've got about 1.5 green chilies. Generally on the spicy side, but I like my food fairly spicy. Gonna be using the wok a lot in Asian cuisine, just the way that it cooks the food really nicely and evenly. We've got our little bowl of cashew nuts chopped up over here, and then rice. Generally, I'll use sort of a white long grain rice, and here I've just got it soaking. You can see that soaking in this water here. I soak it for about 5 minutes, just kind of remove all the starches, and I think that it just cooks a lot easier when you do that. So yeah, and this, in general, this is for about 1 person. This is the amount of ingredients you want. But again, I'll give you all the ingredients and amounts in a document along with the video. So I think we are ready to get started here. Yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so got my rice here. Just gonna strain it out. Give it a little bit of a rinse down. Throw it right back into my pot. Sort of rinse as we go here. And then it's kind of an art form to get the right amount of water in your rice. And basically, the more you soak it, the less water you really need to use. I try to sort of err on the side of less water initially, because you can always add more at the end there if you're noticing it's a little bit dry. But if you have too much, then it just gets kind of pasty and it just doesn't turn out very well. So anyway, in terms of an amount of water, add a little bit more there, but you basically give it a little more shot here. Grab the camera here too. Basically, you want to just have enough to where it's covering your fingertips there. And obviously, the longer you soak it, you can do a little bit less than that as well. But so that's generally a good amount of rice, good amount of water. All right, so we're just going to talk a little bit about the sauces that we generally use with Thai cooking. Oyster sauce, this is your golden goose. This thing really makes or breaks your meal. I sort of found that out through experience. First couple meals I cooked were absolutely terrible. If you get one that's not so good, it'll be really, really salty, and it'll just kind of tarnish your whole meal. I actually got this, I was in Ireland recently where they had a really good Asian market. So I got this and brought it back. But in the States here, if you're just in your general grocery store, this is actually a really good one that I found, Lee Kum Kee Premium. It's a little bit more expensive than the general one you'll find on the shelf, but it really makes a difference. I really recommend that one too. And then fish sauce is just a general, it's a fairly salty sauce. You don't use too much of it, but necessary to have. Just general plain white sugar we're going to be putting in there, and salt. And that's basically it for this meal. So yeah, there it is. Alrighty then, so we're going to get this going. This is our garlic and our chilies first, and that's just with a little bit of coconut oil. You can use olive oil. It's about a tablespoon of oil. Gonna get that going over medium heat to start out, and then our rice we will turn on high, get that thing boiling. Basically, as soon as it starts to boil, you want to turn it on to very low and just cover it. So we will let that go. And the rice is about, I don't know, about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more, but you can kind of gauge it, but we'll get into that. Basically, you want to just get this going to the point where you can kind of, the smell starts to waft off of it. You can really smell that garlic. And then we will add in our cashews here, and we'll get it going. Okay, so the rice started boiling, we got that going, covered that up and turned it on low. These are, you're really starting to smell that. When you start to smell it, you can add in your cashews there. And then we're going to add in our chicken. And I'm going to turn it up just a bit, right around medium heat, a little bit higher. And we're going to let that cook for about 1 minute. The chicken won't be fully cooked, but we're going to add in our vegetables, and it'll continue to cook throughout. Just make sure it's all covered up and nice and garlicky. Ah, that smells beautiful. Wow. Alrighty. Give that about a minute. Okay. We are about ready here. Bring all our veggies in. That's our baby corn. There's our chopped up onion. And our mushroom. Just kind of stir this around the wok a bit, get that oil on there. Get it all mixed together. Whew, man, it's smelling good. Alright, and then basically we want to start getting our sauces in there. So we are going to be using the teaspoon here, and generally just add 1 teaspoon in for one person. And you know what, honestly, I'd add about 1.5. It really doesn't hurt too much, and it really adds a lot of flavor in there once they all start mixing together. Get that mixed around. Then we are going to go to our fish sauce here. And this is one you want to be really careful about because it's, like I said, it's really salty. So you want to just, generally you'd add 2 teaspoons of this. I just do about 1.5. Again, if you're cooking for more people, you're going to add a little bit more of that. But just get that all mixing around in there too. And then we're going to get the magic sauce here. Really, you can measure this out. It's almost easier just to put it in and kind of eyeball it, but for the sake of teaching, I will measure it out for you guys. I'm going to put 3 of these. So it's generally the 1, 2, 3 rule. 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of fish sauce, 3 teaspoons of oyster, but I like the oyster, so I'm going to add a 4th. Again, you do want to be a little careful. You don't want to go crazy with it because it can kind of taint your whole meal, but generally if you follow those proportions, it'll turn out pretty good. So we're just gonna let this kind of cook up. Let it all mix together, let the chicken continue to cook in there. I'm gonna turn the heat up full blast now for a while. Get that chicken all cooked through. The rice should be about done. And let's check this out. Another little bit on the rice. And generally, you know, you want to give the rice, after you soak it, you know, 10 minutes or so on here. Just watch it, make sure it's on low. And that's actually looking pretty good to me. But I will actually just mix it around. Give this a rinse real quick. And give the rice a little bit of a mix to make sure it's looking good. Alright, so that's still a little bit wet, so I'm gonna leave it be for a second here, and then I will take it off the heat and just let it ride. Alright, so this is real close. At the end you can kind of, to get a little bit more sauce out of it, a little more broth to soak up into the rice, you can add a bit of water to it. We'll just add just a little bit of water here. Just give it a little bit more wetness and brothiness. And then just keep the heat high and it'll kind of cook off. If you put too much, no worries, you can kind of let it boil off for a little while. But we should really be done there. And you kind of show you how to form up this rice here. So for the rice, I'm just going to put it into a bowl here. And basically, what I'm going to do, I've got this, there's my bowl of rice there. Move this out of the way for a sec. I'm going to put my plate on top of the bowl, and then just going to reach under. Easy to do with two hands, obviously. Reach under, flip it over. Now you've got your formed up rice there, and you can go ahead and serve it up. Now you can serve it over the top, or you can serve it on the side. Probably looks a little bit nicer on the side in terms of presentation, but there you go. There's your cashew chicken. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to have more coming out. Stay in touch. I'm going to go eat.